Hi everyone, welcome to No Nonsense Whisky. Today's a little bit of a different video. I haven't got a review today. This is a little midweek video. As I'm sure many of you are aware, Jim Murray has released his best whiskies of the world in different categories today for his new Bible, the 2017 Bible. I have a copy of the 2015 Bible. I didn't buy this year's one. Probably not going to buy next year's one either, to be honest. But I thought I would just bring you a little news video to go through the top three, and I'll have everything listed in the description below, including all of the other awards. So like things like the best Scotch, the best blended Scotch, whiskies of the world, Japanese whiskies, blah blah blah. All these things. If you're interested in what those are, you can have a link below, and I will put links in the description to all of those whiskies. If you're here to find out where to buy them, I'm afraid to say you're probably not going to be able to buy them, at least not for now. These things, as soon as they get announced, they fly off the shelves and they are immediately discontinued. For example, I saw the number 2 whiskey today announced as a pre-order. It's not even been released yet, and at 12 o'clock I could have ordered it for £90, and now I cannot order it. So that's a matter of 5 hours later, gone. So this video is going to be purely for informational purposes only, for you to catch up with today's news. Anything else other than that, you're going to have to look at auction websites such as Scotch Whisky Auctions and others like it, because these things aren't going to be around ever. You know, once they're gone, they're gone. They're only going to get more expensive now that they are part of Jim Murray's list. Okay, so let's go from 3 to 1 and go from there. So the third in the list is the William Larue Weller 2015 release Bourbon. Now this thing's made by Buffalo Trace as part of their antique collection, and it does have a colouring to it, but it looks fantastic. It's very dark, like mahogany brown colour. It's meant to be absolutely fantastic, part of a private collection, so even before this was announced it was already fairly sold out across the board. You'd have to go to a real specialist or a collector or an auction to get hold of it anyway. I have literally no idea how much this thing would cost. I didn't even want to look on the auction websites because it's only been announced today and people will just go silly. They go right out of the bat, silly money, stick it on Amazon, whatever, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. That said, more about the whiskey itself. It's bottled at 67.3%, which is strong for Scotch drinkers. But that said, the bourbons I've had that are cask strength and above have been really good, especially ones aged like this, like 12 years aged, which is not often for a bourbon. As I said in a previous video of mine, you should check that out. I go into a little bit more depth about bourbons, about why they don't tend to age. Okay, second on the list is the Glen 18-year-old. Now this one again, as I said at the beginning of the video, hasn't even been released yet. It's coming out in December, but everywhere I've looked, all the pre-orders are already sold out, even if they're one per customer. This thing, when it releases, is going to go through the roof. If you were lucky enough to get hold of one, or even two, then one for drinking, one for investment, because as with all the things that Jim Murray votes, they go up through the roof. Quick example of that is the Glenmorangie Galanta. Now I had the opportunity to drink that at a festival 3 years ago, whenever it before it got announced as the greatest whiskey in the world in 2014, and I tried it and it is fantastic, and I had the opportunity there and then to buy a bottle for £66, and I didn't because I didn't have the money. And a year later I tried my hardest to get hold of it, and I got hold of that for £185 a year later, and now you can get it for about the same price on the auction websites, but if you go to a shop it's £250. That's it. So I'm still reluctant to open that. I'm going to open it though. I'm not going to try and sell it because I'm not into that. Whiskey's for drinking, not for sticking on a shelf and ruining. As my good friends Trenny and C will know, because they've recently done an unboxing where the cork broke when they unboxed it. Devastated. Okay, sorry, back to the Glenlivet 18. Now this thing is 18 years old. Obviously, it's, for my eyes, it's extremely pale, and that's a good thing. You know, I like that they've not really added anything to it to make it look any more different. I think it's on the internet they say caramel, raisins, vanilla, blah 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 blah. Don't care about any of that. The chances are I'm not going to get to drink this. We'll see. I very much doubt it. So if you got hold of a bottle, I would love for you to let me know, especially when it comes around to December. Let me know how it is. Please open it, because these things are meant to be enjoyed, not to be put on a shelf. Alright, on to the first one. Now this one is the Booker's limited edition rye whiskey. Now this thing is already out of stock everywhere, and it has been before that. Now I heard that it was something like $300 before this was even announced. It's been going around since the beginning of the year, getting all kinds of accolades and all sorts. Would have loved to have jumped onto it before I got to the release of this, but obviously I'm a fledgling channel and I can only do so much every week, so these things happen. I'm probably never going to get to try this one again, but this is a Kentucky straight bourbon, which is fantastic to see that sort of thing coming through into stuff like as high profile as Jim Murray's Whisky Bible. If you look back through his previous years, I think the last time he won a Scotch was it would have been when the Glenlivet won it. Last year we had the Canadian Rye, which I know a lot of people disagree with, but he is but one man. And then the year before that it was the Yamazaki Sherry Cask, which is just so ridiculously hard to get hold of now for anything less than like $1,500, which is just ridiculous considering when that thing first came out it was a few hundred, just because one guy says it's the best. Okay, well that's his top three. I hope one of you managed to get hold of it. I would love to know what they taste like in the comments below. Let me know what you think. If you want to send me a sample, go ahead, pushing it. You know, that said, this I would just like to say one final thing about Jim Murray's Whisky Bible. He gets a lot of stick. He's obviously a high profile whiskey drinker, but he makes it perfectly clear at the beginning of the book he is but one man and whiskey is your subjective game. So take it with a pinch of salt. These things are going to be investment whiskey only. They may not be your favourite whiskies in the world. If you manage to get hold of them for a lot of money and do drink it and you don't like it, don't blame Jim Murray. He is but one man, and whiskey is for your own. You know, you can get a whiskey for 30 quid that is perfect for your palate. Alright, so thanks for watching this video. Please check the description below for all the rest of the accolades that were given out today, and don't forget to check back on Thursday for the No Nonsense Whisky review of my Canadian Club thing I mentioned last week. Done a lot of videos this week. That'll be out sometime on Thursday, so see you then. Thank you.